Let's talk about something that will really help if you want to be able to write a note to a Russian friend with decent spelling, or if you're taking a Russian class and you want to make sure that you don't lose points because of little spelling mistakes. Now, I'm going to assume that you understand what hard and soft consonants are and how they're spelled. If you need a refresher, be sure to watch these two videos first. Let's say you have some new things. Новый паспорт, новая книга, новое слово. If you look carefully at the endings, you see that they all start with vowel letters that can follow hard consonants, y, a, and o. That's because новый has a hard stem. That is, the v at the end of the stem is a hard consonant. In fact, nearly all Russian adjectives have a hard stem. What if we're talking about the last passport, the last book, and the last word? Последний паспорт, последняя книга, последнее слово. The letters I, Ya, and Ye can follow soft consonants, not hard ones, and we're using those letters here because последний has a soft stem. So whenever we change the ending, we'll start the ending with a vowel letter that can follow a soft consonant. Now let's mix it up a little with an example that can trip people up at first. Русский друг, русская книга, русское слово. Now if you look at the A in русская and the O in русское, the neuter, you'd say this is a hard stem, and you'd be right. But I normally follows soft consonants, so why do we use the I instead of U in the masculine form? Well, here's where the 7-letter spelling rule comes in. We cannot use the letter U after any of these 7 letters. Instead, we'll use I. So this explains why we spell русский with I, but those other forms with A and O. Now let's look at another common word, хороший. Хороший друг, хорошая книга, хорошее слово. When we see this letter A, we know that that preceding consonant must be hard, so we've got a hard stem. And we've just talked about why we see I in хороший, because of the 7-letter spelling rule. But down here we have the letter Ye, which normally only follows a soft consonant. What's going on here? Well, to explain the spelling of хорошее, the neuter, let's recall the 5-letter spelling rule. We can't use an unstressed O after these 5 letters. Instead, we'll use the letter Ye. Now let's be clear that it's only the unstressed O that we're concerned with here. The stressed O, as in большое, would be fine. So do take a moment to make sure that you understand this contrast. Большое слово, the ending starts with O because it's stressed, and that's all right. Хорошее слово, the ending starts with Ye because of the 5-letter spelling rule. So it's really only the letter A in хорошее that lets us know that this is indeed a hard stem, and we'll spell its endings with vowel letters that can follow hard consonants as long as we're not violating a spelling rule. Now these may seem like kind of fussy rules, but getting the concept down now will really help you in the long run, and I'd like to show you why, but don't panic when you see this. There's absolutely no need to learn all of these at once. I did just want to show you how often the 7-letter rule will come up. And if we add in the 5-letter rule, you'll see that these 2 spelling rules may come into play for nearly every form of a lot of common words. Summing up, the spelling of adjective endings needs to reflect whether the stem ends in a hard or soft consonant, and it's also important to keep the spelling rules in mind, especially the 5 and the 7-letter rules. Since spelling rules trump all other issues, you never want to violate a spelling rule.